I think it's quite similar to the previous one, right? I mean,
A bit, yeah.
I don't know. I think I'll speak from our experience and knowledge. I think obviously we are seeing that the world is becoming flatter. Hiring cross-border is not just a luxury anymore, but it's probably something that if you don't consider as a business, you will struggle. You touched on the Great Resignation. I believe that to be a short-term fad. Hopefully, we're seeing signs that that was a little bit of a short-term phenomenon. But I think talking about sort of distributed remote working, the world becoming flatter, this is a trend that began a long time ago, mainly for cost reasons and taking advantage of cost arbitrage. Like Far East was a bit cheaper, a lot cheaper than the West, etc. Things have evolved since then. I think it's less so about cost arbitrage these days. It's actually much more about attracting better talent. Like for example, taking us as an example of Talent Desk, when we put a job out there, we obviously eat our own cooking, but not to demonstrate it because we see the value from it. When we put a job out, we hire agnostic of location. So we hire the best possible person we can attract for that budget, for that role. And if you think about it, it's just common sense. You know, your talent pool that you're addressing just grew by a factor of 1,000 upwards, versus say hiring just in London if you're London based. And so if you can make that work across border, with the challenges that it comes with, but you know, again, the pandemic being a catalyst trained us to do that. Then instantly, even for the same budget, you're able to address an infinitely larger, almost talent pool. So you will hire better people. And you know, for me, what we are seeing is that the number one, whether it started because of the cost arbitrage, then it became a little bit of a necessity because of the pandemic. Then we've seen the whole sort of Great Resignation and now we're still seeing shortage of great talent. The number one benefit of hiring across border is no longer cost. It's being able to address a much bigger talent pool and hire the best person for the role that you can get. Because in the end, if you can hire the best people and make that work, your company will succeed more than it would otherwise. There's no question. You know, past product market fit, if your business has proven that you have a product that works, the only other thing that really matters is getting a great team behind it, right? And so if you can open that to global hiring, you see that benefit. And just on that point, one last thing I want to say that we see ourselves. When I say better talent, I don't just mean hard skills, like this designer is better than the one I could attract locally, or this coder is better. I think there is a very important benefit that we're living every day when you bring cross-cultural teams in one room or virtual room. This is huge, right? Our skill is not just the hard skills that we have, it's everything, our experiences, where we grew up, the culture that we have. And the great news is that if you put 5 people in a room from very different cultures, even if the competence level is the same on the specific skill that you hired them for, the mix of the different backgrounds, one person grew up in South America, the other person is in East Europe, some other person is in the UK, all of that comes together, the result actually is better. Because like they say, the good news is that great minds don't think alike. And it's that diversity of thinking, that diversity of background and education that comes together when you hire across borders to create better products, better experiences, just better atmosphere, and quite frankly, more fun. Nobody wants to be anymore in an environment of insularity. Like, let's say you're a company who's headquartered in New York and you only hire people from New York who went to very similar schools. They probably have very similar backgrounds, they have pretty similar habits, they have similar hobbies. You know, it's just not as interesting and not as mixed as having people, you know, across the globe. We see that benefit. Our company is not huge in numbers, we're probably approaching 50 people. But we have a small core team in the UK, and we have people all over. We've got people in America, South America, East Europe, etc. When we all get on a team call, it's just magical how those cross-culture perspectives lead to just better things.
Yeah, I agree.